We lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
So the Order's right about one thing. We attract Voidwoken. Am I the lone survivor? Only one way to find out. Any man who put his likeness in stone is a fool in my book. This again. Imagine having the gall to want 100 generations gazing at your own face. Imagine having the gall to want 100 generations gazing at your own face.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? But are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his...
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the... They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. But you didn't die. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared.
Imagine having the gall to want 100 generations gazing at your own face. Void woken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. We made it to shore. I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. The face is familiar. What's left of it? He was aboard the ship.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is a... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away. Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so... Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing...
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil...
As for myself, when I consider this vast, I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that... What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply...
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the seven have mercy on their own... I am the Red Prince. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself... The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proved fine. I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh, well, that wishy-washy... So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords... As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards, then, to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a... As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest.
black cat.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at its eyes clear, and it shakes its head.
1, 2, long dead of the crew. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore. Hey, mister. Is there luck? I'm sure glad some of the others made it out alive too.
This again.
Now where shall I put this one? Adults always want to talk. Can't I just... Adults... Never want to set foot in a stuffy old boat ever again. Never.
Boring. I've spotted something.
Yes. Is it an audience you desire? I intend to rule an empire one day, not a tiny outcropping in the... To that end, I suggest we focus... Of course, I'd much appreciate it if we managed to... There was a small... incident. Such a nuisance. What I meant was that being... Sadly, that in... I hardly know you, as am I. That said, there was something in the water. A voice, truly, still.
He hesitates.
Are you a religious person? A pity. As for myself, after all, when one is revered, but there isn't much to say. but for the fact it's the portent of it, and justified it is as certain as the sun, such is my...
Are you certain you want to dismiss your companion?
Alexander. But wait, he's too well protected here.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, you!
Bishop Alexander looks up at the sound of your voice, curiosity on his face. Recognition seems to flicker in his... Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes...
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
She hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
The cat's eyes are... It appears confused.
I told him at noon exactly.
God!
Didn't I?
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder the Geists, dummy. The Hammer and Alexander had 2 in tow just a moment ago. Ugh. Thought you lot would be interested in a thing like that.
Ah, be careful what you wish.
Now, why don't you move along and settle in? Imagine...
Come on, then, Nixie. Lay up.
If I find any bread, I want no trouble.